I see. There's on both sides. You didn't even have to turn. I'll put it there. Would everyone please rise for the pledge?
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will open the Newton County Council regular meeting of September 17th. Any board reports or anyone has council report today?
I don't have one this week because we're having a meeting today, this week.
HR.
I don't have anything.
So we have minutes from a joint meeting, I guess. July 16th, July 31st. Front of us. Let's do it individually. We'll do the July 16th. Are there any corrections, additions?
I'm gonna do some more meeting minutes from July 2025.
Second. Motion by Tom, second by Nick to approve the July 16th minutes of the joint meeting. Commissioners session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Now we have a special joint meeting of July 31st, any additions or corrections?
I have an additional, Scott. So my name appears on the back page as Bob Gonzi left at 10:50 a.m. I'd like to add to honor a meeting that we had jointly with Kevin Madison. Great. We had left him sitting there for like 30 minutes, so I want to make sure he didn't leave on us.
Right, we didn't, and that's the only reason nobody knew about it. That was just a meeting I think you picked with some other people to have, so that's the only reason that wasn't ever in there, so I don't know.
Steve, didn't we have an agreement we were gonna be with him?
I know what you're talking about, but it was never brought why you left for another meeting, so that's why we never put it in. Just
But it can be added. They don't have to be exceptions to adding that. It's not. You can add those to the minutes. Please, one. Any other questions or discussion over correction? Now, is there a motion to approve as corrected? Second. Motion by David, second by Nick to approve the July 31st special joint session joint meeting as corrected. Discussion?
the only thing I ask is from here on out, if you leave a meeting, you just gotta let us know why you're leaving your meeting and we'll make sure they're in the minutes from here on out.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No other questions or discussion. All those in favor of the motion to approve, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Sheriff, additional. Additional request for other equipment. The additional is out of Hume Cap. And this is what we discussed previous meeting, the water softener.
Right, water softener, out of that fund for your direction.
Did you ever confirm that the price on this project was the same, although the quote that was given is expired?
The quote was expired. This is, the requested amount is more because probably just like stuff at home, when you dig into it, something else is gonna break. So we went high and I discussed that with Tammy, that if we go high and it's lower, it's not like the money's floating around somewhere that we'll do something else with. It just goes back into that fund. So if it comes in lower, it goes right back to the same fund.
I'll make a motion to the additional from Team Cat, 95,000 as submitted.
Second. Who's there? Matt. Motion by Tom, second by Matt to approve the $95,000 additional request at a Hume Cap the sheriff's budget. Correct? Discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Prosecutor, additional request, requested two different ways of $16,025 for consulting service. It's requested at a county general and user fee pre-trial diversion. I don't believe there's anyone here from the prosecutor's office. He called me yesterday for explanation, couldn't be here today.
Cody Spears.
Cody,
prosecutor.
there. Cody, you got an explanation? I mean, Becky called me yesterday. It's not. So, you want me to go ahead with what she told me, Cody?
I'm sorry,
Do you want me to go ahead and explain what prosecutor told me yesterday, or?
please.
So it is for, DNA testing. It's not for murder trial. It's for a cold case trials. We, as council, had approved the money for this at a little lesser amount a couple of years ago, I think. There was problems that didn't get done. They're now back on that, and it is for DNA testing on a,
And
it's not, it's not a murder case, they're alluded to.
And you jog my memory, I spoke with Attorney Goddard yesterday about that. I believe, yeah, the 2008, I believe it was the sex crimes case. Everything was set in place for the testing to go forward when it was previously approved. I think it was a problem with the lab that fell through. Everything is lined up and in place to move forward with the testing, assuming the funds are approved for it.
So these were approved one time at a lesser amount going up. And it's requested both ways just because, we have in the past asked that it be requested in two different ways. We did have a conversation about using the, user fee line item, which is a, fee-based fund out of the courts. And it would be eligible for that. But talking to the prosecutor, there are some things in the works that money could be spent for also. Kind of in the sheriff's department, I think there's been some conversations maybe. So,
Was it previously approved?
I should. County general, I didn't, she didn't know, and I don't remember, obviously.
We talked yesterday.
I know. So we do have some county general funds, if we want to not use the pre-trial, because there's some other worthwhile projects probably coming up for those. So,
I would make a motion to take it from county general. And deny the request from the user fee trial.
second. Motion by Heidi, seconded by Mick, to approve the $16,025 additional request out of county general and deny that same dollar request out of user fee pre-trial diversion in the prosecutor's budget. Correct.
Yes.
Discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Commissioners, additional requests. Life insurance, 3,000, short-term disability, 8,500. Lake Village storm drain, 150,000. It's water and electric at the government center for 16,000. Animal control call-outs, 2,000. Animal control medical, 10,000. Animal control gas, water, and electric, 2,000. Animal control call-outs, this is out of landfill.
Right.
2,000, 10,000 medical and gas, water, and electric all out of landfill as well. So I assume we don't need one or the other on those that are listed twice.
Yes. For animal control.
You know. So you guys want to do these one at a time, or do groups, whatever.
Well, if I was to make any motions, they would all be out of the county general, which would, it just Luckily, unless anybody has any specific questions on any of these different items.
Question of the Lake Village project, is this the, as far as you guys know, on the training towards the final closure of that?
We hope so. I think we're trying to fix what wasn't done right in the first place.
Does that include the trees thing too, or is that still hanging out there, it's separate,
No, I think that's done.
that the trees part's done?
I think the only thing on the trees that could come back is if down the road, you got like a 3-year deal, you gotta.
They died for some reason.
Plant some
But
or something.
hopefully the people that have agreed to plant those are, they still are gonna care for them. So.
Okay.
In my understanding, we put in a higher amount because isn't possibly the highway or a rock or something.
Yeah, so like the highway sharing actually can help a lot, so it should be less than that, but they'd rather go high and get the money back, but.
All right, commissioners also pursue possible legal sanctions against the engineer or whoever might be involved.
I don't know if we gain anything from that, but
Just want to see if you.
So, I mean, is everybody aware of what they're doing? That project was done. A lot of the roadside ditches that are part of the drain through people's yards were left in a state that they were eroding. Can't be maintained very well,
if
so.
they can't mow it, they're washing out. It makes it hard on the county plowing roads, and so we basically just want to put 8-inch tile through little ditches and fill them up, and then people can mow it, can drive over it. They won't wash away anymore, they should be fixed forever.
That's that bad, why don't you think that we can get any,
Because that's, they build it according to plans, I mean, I suppose we could. Plan for poor, apparently, obviously. But it was done in specs out, which you can't ask for, you know, or they came up with.
And Tom, some of that is still being looked into by myself and Attorney Ayler. He represents the Drainage Board. So we haven't said, no, there is no legal ramifications yet. If we're looking into that as a possibility.
thank you.
Well, unrelated to the money of this, but is there a long-term maintenance plan for that, like mowing where they clean the ditches or something?
I
We
don't
don't have to do it again.
The homeowner will be able to mow their own stuff.
Sorry, I'm talking about the big ditches in the fields. Now we've cleaned all those out. Is there like a long-term maintenance to keep that cleaned out? So we don't face this again in 30 years?
It will be petitioned to make that a legal drain. Then it will go under the jurisdiction of drainage board, which then assessments the public hearing, and the public, the regulated drain. Then the drainage board can determine an assessment for all landowners using it to maintain the legal drain.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep.
That has not been done, but that's
It's an old,
in the works.
Okay.
Government moves really quick, you know. So any other questions on these requests, commissioners additions? I assume the life insurance, short-term disability, we just didn't budget it on. Gas, water, electric, that seems to be a pretty common,
Yeah.
increase. The medical on animal control was
That
difference.
Was this something we were expecting?
As far as medical,
Yeah, we talked about it before. For some reason, I was thinking we did, and I didn't know if there was any additionals coming.
I actually had done an additional already.
I think my understanding is
They
because
have,
the law changed and we have to, neuter and spay. So this is the reason for
and shots,
and shots.
vaccinations all have to be updated before they can
So
be available for adoption.
So is any of this recouped then through adoption process?
it used to be, but I think now with the shelter being full, they are running specials to, it's free, get them out of there. It's true.
So we,
I mean, that's how my understanding. And I think there's other surrounding counties doing the same thing. I mean, like, before you always pay for the shots and the neuter and spade. Now they're just get them out here, we'll pay for that if you take them for lunch.
So are we running an animal
Yeah.
shelter again? Sounds like thought our guidelines were that they were there so long.
Well, I still think that they're there so long, that they don't get this done unless they're gonna get done, you know.
Elaborate.
Well, that's you guys' department. Just
Do want Christine to elaborate.
Yeah, she knows more than we do, so.
Hi there.
there.
Morning. So I am working on updating fees for the animal shelter to recoup the costs with the vet bills and all the vaccinations that we have to provide for dogs, cats, for the state ordinance. That's something I'm comparing different animal shelters with, what they get for reclaiming dogs, fees for adoption, such as that. Right now, we're not currently charging for adoption fees because of the fact that we've been inundated with dogs, with cats, and just the lack of people not taking care of their animals and not picking them up or reclaiming them and banning them.
You foresee this getting better when the economy switches over?
Every county around us is filled. I mean, from LaPorte to Porter to, and I've been calling around, seeing and watching Facebook pages and stuff like that. Everybody's filled, Jasper County's filled. We're almost at capacity. We have 2 open stalls right now. It's probably been a week now that we've had 2 open stalls, which is a good sign. But hopefully this will transition to where we have less dogs coming in. I think it's also a public issue as far as education. We have to up our prices because we are the cheapest around versus everybody else as far as dog reclaims, fines and such like that. So, and right now, currently, I'm trying to work on that schedule too, as far as bringing an ordinance to update our fines when people have dogs run loose, or fines when people get bit by a dog, or fines for this, fines for that.
Are you dealing with a lot of violations in that nature?
Mainly, we're dealing with a lot of running at large issues. People just let their animals run loose and then we pick them up. There's certain offenders that continuously doing that, and every time it happens, we try to double up the fee, but you know, the first fine is $25, which is, you know, I know some people it's a lot of money. It's really not, and then the next fee, we try double 50, you know, kind of.
So that's something we set our own rate on, obviously, if you double.
We can, and I'm looking into the state statute as what our maximum allowable is, like for ordinances and stuff like violations, we can charge up to $2,500 per incident. I don't know about the animal control side of it, and I'm trying to do my research with the state and find out what our legal obligation is as far as what the amount to charge maximum.
Yes, my question and concern is, are we trending back to running an animal shelter or are we animal control? Because we had, I thought, in place specific guidelines.
I think we still have the
Regulations.
guideline about 60 days or certain things, I don't know, but I don't think that's been an issue yet.
Yeah, most of the dogs we try we're animal control.
From a history standpoint.
Right, we're animal control for a history standpoint. We try to relocate dogs and animals the fast and best way we can. We did put down a dog recently because of its illness, it had cancer and stuff, so we're not, you know, humanely, we have to put down animals and such, but we're not, you know, my position is I don't want to put down a dog unless I absolutely have to. And right now, we've been moving along with trying to work with other different entities to get dogs relocated and such.
So for some of these medical expenses, like, I know you guys have asked the public for fundraisers, instead of bringing cat litter and dog food in, could they just chip in some bucks for medical bills?
Sure.
I know there are people who would.
And I don't know, and that was my next question to ask is, you know, we have discussed that last week as far as, you know, I know we get some slack with people wanting for donations for food and stuff like that.
And we're just trying to offset some of the expenses and stuff in the shelter and not be a burden on the taxpayers and stuff. But yeah, I like to do some kind of fundraising program for getting dogs fixed or and make it an awareness thing too. This way people can be aware that this is an issue and it's an issue throughout the United States. No problem.
Basically, I got two questions. Real quick. Sure. Going back up to the 150,000 for the storm drain in the village, what was the original cost of that project? Didn't remember offhand.
It's up before my day, but it wasn't cheap.
It was a grant, we put out, the 400,000, I think, so maybe it was, 1.2 maybe, yeah, yes.
So it's 150 additional over 1.2, basically somewhere in there. And then for this ask, it's 28,000, 14,000 coming out of landfill credit. Random control.
No,
Total ask is 28,000, right?
it can be out of both, either one. You'll see,
Right,
you'll
either
see.
one.
You'll see similarities in,
They requested-
ones compared to the line. So they're asking now to go.
They only need one of
Yeah.
them.
They're asking for 28 total, but 14 out of landfills, out, all right?
Well, they're asking for 14, Bobby. But they're asking out of two different budgets. We only give it out of one budget. They duplicated the request out of two different.
Gotcha. So they asked us for 14,000.
14,000.
Okay, thank you.
It shows on.
So it's either out of landfill or out of organic.
They give us the option to decide what.
Perfect. I understand.
Any other questions? Discussion? Motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the commissioner's additional receipt as requested out of Erie General. I request out.
Second.
Motion by Tom, seconded by Matt to approve the additional requests in the commissioner's county general budget as requested and deny those requests. Landfill commissioner. Correct? Discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Commissioners transfer request at landfill IT transferring $16,400 out of office machines into CS telephone.
What is CS tell?
Contractual service.
Makes sense. It is a transfer, just one category to the other in the IT landfill budget.
I'll make the motion to approve the transfer.
Motion Tom, seconded by David to approve the transfer request, the commissioner to landfill budget for IT. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Assessor. 4 transfer requests, all have to do with, per holiday pay, overtime, it's all payroll related things.
The part that comes back and essentially through the end.
You'll have to come up to the mic, please. Sorry.
That was the same thing that we discussed in the budget hearings, moving the part-time back into full-time. So just transferring it back in.
The position that had been not filled, she's part-time. All right. So this. Very clear on that. There a motion? Motion to. Transfer. Second. Heidi beat that, oh, speaking. Motion by David, second by Heidi to approve the transfer requests in the assessor's reassessment budget as requested, approve as requested. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Health transfer request, $250. out of, printing into overtime. This have to do with the. We're still back for,
No, this just has to do a cleanup, when she puts it in, it's very little overtime, because they usually don't, but if someone clocks in 6 or 8 minutes early, or has to stay 6 or 8 minutes, it's between the 3 hourly, adds up, so. Clean, so it's not really negative.
I don't know, it's a transfer, we're not, well, we'll try. I'll make a motion to approve transfer from the health department.
Second.
Motion by Mick, second by Tom to approve the transfer request in the health budget as requested. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Ambulance. For transfer requests.
It's just to clean up salary line items. We projected out to the end of the year on where we're gonna be at, and we noticed those 4 line items were going to be negative if we didn't move some money around. We had a full-time position that was empty for a good portion of the year, so it was well over budgeted. So we're just moving from that line item to other salary line items to make sure we don't go negative at any point. We can make it through the end of the year.
So keep the auditor happy.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfers as requested. Second. First by Mick, second by Matt to approve the transfer requests, ambulance budget as requested. All 4 of them. Second. All those in favor of the motion to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Other matter. Anything to come before just the council today? We'll recess and
Just a reminder, you guys have a meeting Monday for the public hearings. The 2026 budget at 8:30 here at this building, 3:30, you show up for the meeting,
what's the date on that?
22nd. 8:30. Just give an opportunity for the public if they have any questions on our budget.
They ever show up?
Not usually. They can.
Just
Yeah, so we don't get to talk a whole lot in between meetings or whatever, so I guess just for my clarification, so there really was not a whole lot of discussion about the 150,000 above the $1.2 million project. Right, but for 14,000, which I really thought was 28, but that's 2 different ways, right, there was a lot of concern, so is there a lot of concern with the way we're running? Placing in this. For the animal shelter.
Me personally, I think just had some questions. Haven't been here a while. We've spent a lot of money in that department over the years. Changed the way we do business. That to a lower amount, now I just see it creeping up, that's why I had questions.
Well, I know we don't all know each other, but that was my point. It was like for 150,000, we're like, okay, for 14,000, which I thought was 28. There's a lot of discussion, so it's kind of.
Well, just to clarify though, the Lake Village project talked about it probably 3 or 4 different meetings.
Yeah,
It's been,
So it wasn't
no, it's been for a while.
months.
Yeah,
Months. Talked about it. That project started 2 years ago.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
three.
this is just finally they got to the money part that we've been talking about it. That meetings, we knew it was coming. Perfect.
Anything else to come before the council? Yes,
Is this the public comments?
sure, go ahead, what you have to say.
Well, I just have a comment to make about, I help out at the animal shelter, and I just want to make, this comment that, most of the dogs are, strays, but we also get dogs that, like people that go to jail, your dogs have to go somewhere. And in the past few months, we had 4 large dogs taken from a murder scene. 2 large dogs that we have ran into jail, and another dog that a lady went to jail. just so that you know,
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that.
made aware of that.
It's good information. Thank you. Anything else? If not,
I'm with NIPSCO, if you guys have any questions on the business.
What's our
I think that's gonna be on the commissioners or the joint. I'm not sure.
Didn't want to get out of here if somebody had any questions.
No, well, thank you. If not, the council wouldn't.
Silent, see that one.
Yeah. The council will recess till after the commissioners meeting, or we will reconvene in a joint meeting, commissioners at the end of their meeting. So at this point, we are recessed.
We're gonna 5-minute break it, but.